Hi, it's Tracy from Two Rocks Tarot with this week's spread. And this spread is called Guidance on the Spiritual Path spread at Roots of Aura on Instagram. So I will be using two decks. That's actually an 8-card spread, so hopefully it won't take too long, but we'll see what happens. So for card 5 and 6, most of the card reading, I'll be using the Mary L Tarot. And then for cards 5 and 6, I'm going to pull from the Phylarchus Tarot, just because these two are actually highlighted when you look at it. And I don't know, something just told me to pull from a different one, so that's what I'm going to do. So the first spread position is my path in the past. Okay. So my path in the past. Right, that one popped up. My path. Oh, that's interesting. Ooh. I'll tell you what, every time I use these cards, they just fly around. So my path in the past, I got from the Queen of Wands. Oh, I should have warned there's going to be nudity in this deck. So the Queen of Wands. I'm just trying to get the glare off. No. Oh, there you go. That's better. So the Queen of Wands, my path in the past. Well, looking at that, I'm really struck by the cat and holding in her arms. And my path in the past was really being a mother, because I had my children young. So I had my first daughter at 21, and then I had my second 4.5 years later. So most of my 20s and 30s was spent looking after my kids, and kind of being stuck in a abusive marriage as well. So I'm really pulled actually to the little the leopard there, the little cub, and I feel like that I wasn't aware of anything spiritually. You know, this all come to me later in life. It's probably would have started about 38, I'd say, when tarot and everything else came, my spirituality came into my life. So really, I'm presuming that, well, I'm thinking that the cub there is my spirituality, how small it was. You know, I wasn't ready to roar yet. I wasn't the Queen of Wands. I was too involved in looking after my children and trying to protect them and protect myself. So I really didn't have time for spirituality at all back then. So that actually makes absolutely perfect sense. Sorry, the second card is my current path. So my current path. Oh, that's a whole heap. I don't want that. My current path. That one's stood out. The Chariot, my current path. And this is very interesting because this looks very shamanistic to me, and I have been really pulled to the more earthly side. When I first discovered my spirituality, I was very pulled to the Druid way. It's never really left me, but then I sort of delved off into witchcraft, and that's been pulling me again, but it's in a much more earthy type of existence, or spirituality is what I'm sort of, but it looks like it's changed, and it's true, because at first it was, you know, Druidism, witchcraft, and into pagan, and now I class myself as an energy worker. So that, you know, there's four wolves there, but it looks like that, you know, I don't know really. I'm pulled to the flower that's blossoming on the chest there as well. So it looks like it's going to blossom, and my path is this kind of it sort of reflects everything actually, how I'm feeling, because there's lots of different directions that I'm pulled to, but I'm very pulled to still the earth-based nature that I've always have been, you know. So it looks like that, yeah, I'm pulled in different directions, so that really does make sense. And you can probably see behind me too. Can you see the gum leaves there? I've got this special tree that I connect to when I go for a walk every morning. And when Oscar went blind, I had to only go around a couple of blocks because he just couldn't walk very far, and he didn't enjoy it really. And I really miss this tree. And every time, the times that I've gone there, I've always gotten some gum nuts, you know, I find on the floor. And I saw that there this morning on my walk, and I thought, you know what, that needs to come home with me. So on my altar, I've got quite a few gum nuts. Actually, I got this really beautiful Oh, it's all tangled up. No, that's not the one. Oh. This is a really beautiful one the other day. Have a look at that. It just looks like a flower. Isn't it just gorgeous? So, you know, I've got lots of this tree around my house, mainly in this room, but so that's kind of interesting. So I've just got this deep connection with it, so I'm very, very much drawn to trees. So now that the third card is, where is my path heading? Okay, where is my path heading? That one popped right up. And looks like in the right direction. Look at that, the King of Cups. But can you see all the trees right smack in the middle of a tree there? Lots of flowers. That's really, really interesting. So lots of blossoming. Actually, no, sorry, I tell a lie because it's the King of Cups. He's actually floating in water. So there's lots of water lilies and everything around. But that makes perfect sense too, doesn't it? Because there's lots of greenery. So I'm on the right track, definitely. And I'm really attracted to the flowers again. So these flowers are blue. And so, blue is communication. So it looks like that I shall be getting quite a bit of communication. It's a funny thing. I've actually got, because I'm pretty sure this is supposed to represent Poseidon, I've actually got a tiny little, tiniest little silver amulet that I found when I was with my dad when I was a little girl. It was on the floor of Poseidon, or King Neptune. I've got a huge statue of King Neptune here in Atlantis Beach in our estate, because it used to be a water theme park back here in the 80s by Alan Bond, and there's a huge statue there of him as well. And I've got this little amulet. I've had it on my altar. I must have been about 10 when I found this. So it's interesting that he's actually on my altar. And it could be that I need to work with him. Well, actually, I might have to work with him as well. So that's very interesting. I'm still thinking it's very much, nature-based. But it looks like maybe I should look into Poseidon, King Neptune a little bit more. Well, that was a very interesting card to come up for current path. Or where my path is heading, I should say. So the next question is, how can I grow further in the right direction? So how can I grow further in the right direction? Oops, she's a slippery. How can I grow further? No, that's not it. That's it. Oh, get in there. Oh, this is very interesting. The Ten of Swords. How can I grow further? Now I'll try and get that. I think that's probably about the best light there. It's a little bit, there we go. A little bit to the side, but at least you can see it. So how can I grow further? So this is telling me that I need to cut ties in the past with things that I've done with the past and try something new. That's what I'm thinking, because these two are looking towards the right, but the scythe is actually is pointing to the right as well. So can you see that? Oh, it's really, there we go. It's a really dark card. It's hard to get in. There you go. That's a little bit better. So both of them are looking to the right, which I always associate with the future. And the scythe is pointing to the right. So what I need to do is reap from the future rather than the past. So I've learned from my past mistakes. I need to not dwell on any sorrow from the past, and I really just need to look to the future. I just want to look at this image a little bit more. And the question, how can I further grow? Yeah, that's what I need to do. Interesting, because this is a crow as well, and I found the most beautiful. I've got a few crow feathers on my altar, and I found the most beautiful one outside the public toilets, believe it or not, here in Turock. So I was dying to go after I just had my hair done, and there's always a few crows that hang around there in this beautiful tree, and there's a perfect feather on the floor there, and I took that and put it on my altar, and I have used it in my workings as well. I use it for my smudging, and I use it for my magical workings. So how can I grow further is just, completely not look back at what's happened to me in the past and look towards the future. And And it's interesting too because the white horse, there is, I won't be able to get it out now, but there is a actual kind of like a myth to do with the water when the waves break and looks like there's white horses that are riding the waves, but I can't think of the top of my head what that is. So it looks like I need to delve into the sea type of area more for some reason. I'm harking that back to Poseidon as well, so that's kind of interesting too, because yeah, I can clearly, and I've actually coloured it in one of my colouring books. I've actually got that picture, so that's very interesting. So it looks like something I need to look into. All right, so we are up to 1, 2, 3, 4, so 5s. So now the card 5 and card 6, I'm going to pick from the Phylarkos Tarot. I'll just pick up that deck. And there's always one that sticks to this desk. Honestly, this desk, it just sticks to it. Okay, so now the number 5 is obstacles or opportunities concerning further growth. Obstacles or opportunities concerning further growth. All right, so I've got 2 here. I'm going to have to stick with 2. So the first card, God, these are all falling everywhere too. First card is the 8 of Spirals, which is the 8 of Pentacles. So, and, oh, there we go. And then the second one is the 4 of Cups. So look at that. It's a sea again. The sea again. So it really looks like I'm having to look at the sea type of thing. Now, I don't really take this as... the only obstacle is learning correctly, I'd say, is you know, because it's with anything when you start studying, you must learn. You've got to make sure that what you are reading and looking up with is true. So I suppose that would be the only obstacle, is finding out, you know, the actual learn. I don't really consider that an obstacle, so I don't really think there's many obstacles. So for me, it definitely looks like it's more water-based, so I really need to delve into that side, and this will be fun and exciting to learn about. So even though I've been thinking and pulled decks that are more shamanistic in readings, and these 2 decks definitely are, but it looks like I need to work with water, it looks like, the water element itself. And I'm very attracted to the rainbow at the back too. That was a massive spirit message that comes through to one of my subscribers, where the rainbow had a lot of meaning for her. And now every time I actually see a rainbow, I think of her. So yeah, I think, and it's also got invitation written on the bottom there. So it looks like there's, you know, the water element is inviting me to work for them. This is really interesting. Absolutely love it. Okay, and then card 6 was where to focus my energy. So I'll grab the Phylarkos again. Oh God, it's falling everywhere. You know, when my cards are like this, when they're everywhere like that, it always means that I'm going to get a really good reading. Always, without a doubt. So what did I say it was? Now, where to focus my energy. So where to focus, my energy. There we go. Oh, have a look at that. Have a look at this card, where to focus my energy. The Tower, enlightenment. That's where I need to focus my energy, on enlightenment. I need to find my own enlightenment. It's a very powerful card, the Tower in the Phylarkos deck. But I'm attracted to lots of blue as well. So when I invite, you know, if I'm going to invite working with the element of water, Poseidon, it looks like I'm going to have a very profound awakening deep from within inside of me, because I don't look at her being torn apart in this one, which it can be, depending how what you're reading. But I'm reading about my spirituality, so it looks like I'm going to have a very deep enlightenment that's coming from within, something that's wanting to emerge from me and come out from deep inside of me is finally going to be released. This is an amazing card. This makes me feel very emotional looking at this. I think this is going to be yeah, both myself and Nina in our chit chats have been saying that both of us feel that 2020 is going to be quite a year for us. We just feel like there's this big energy shift and change, and pulling this card just confirms it. So this is awesome. I'm going to make sure I take a photo of this particular one. Okay, so number 7 is my natural spiritual gift or gifts. So my natural spiritual gift or gifts. And that one's, no, that's not the right one. I always know when it's the right one. My natural spiritual gifts or gifts. That one's come up. Oh, that's this is freaking amazing, really. Temperance, but have a look at that. A tiger in the waves. I definitely need to have a look at some as working with water. Or water, as my father always used to tell me off. Not water, it's water. Is English, so he, I was always getting my English or my Australian slang corrected when I was a child. So temperance, what was it? My natural spiritual gifts or gifts. So it looks like I'm very balanced between the spiritual and the material world, and definitely need to work with the element water and have a look at some gods and goddesses. I know what this is, because when I did that Connecting with Your Spiritual Guides course, the Ariel came through for me for my guide. And of course, she is the angel that looks after the Fae, the sea, and all things like that. So I need to work more with her. And I'm very drawn to Poseidon, because that even that card just looks like, him. And funny enough, the King of Cups is who when he comes up in readings, it's my husband's card, the King of Cups. But excuse me, a little bit of incense then. So it looks like my natural is that I'm very balanced, even though sometimes if things get a little bit rough, nothing ever shakes me in my spirituality, which is really, really good. I like that. But it's just amazing how much water there is in this particular reading. So it looks like I'm very balanced, and I can, and because I always say when I do my readings and when I work with, when I ask for a spirit message to come forward, that it comes easily. It does come very easily to me. I just can't stop looking at that card, and it's just. And of course, there's a lot of blue and green, and the emotion. I always say that I feel, because that's how things come through. So to have temperance come through is brilliant. The very last one is, this is an interesting question. Who or what guides my spirituality? So who or what guides my spirituality? This is a freaking amazing reading. Now, I was just talking before about trees and my deep affinity of them, and I've actually just ordered the deck, which I can't think of the top of. Is it the Guardian Tarot, the one who's by Beth Seelerman, who's done the Isabella Snail one? She's got the tree one that Nina had, and I think it's called the Guardian Tarot, and I've just purchased this. Who or what guides my spirituality? And I've got the Four of Wands, and look at that, it's the most magnificent tree. Isn't that just amazing? And have a look at the gum leaves. It's just between this card and when I saw that on the floor, I walked past, because I always stop and I touch the tree trunk and I bless it, and I just stand there. And Oscar used to always sniffle around there when he could see and everything. And I like to think that there's a spirit of that tree on the other side, that when I touch that tree, Oscar is on the other side beneath that tree, sniffling around, and we just have a moment together. Spiritually, and to have the Four of Wands come up, who or what guides my spirituality is definitely the trees. I definitely, and it marries in well with the water side, because we all need, trees and plants need water to survive. And I let go of that tree, and I was going to walk past, and something made me turn around and pick up them gum leaves and hang it on the back wall there. And this spread just blew my mind and said it all. It's absolutely awesome spread. I love it. I really, truly do. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, please press like and subscribe, and press the notification bell. That way you'll get notifications when one of my videos come up. And until next time, this is Tracy.